U.S. President Donald Trump's aggressive tariff policies targeting Canada, Mexico, and China have added momentum to a growing global trade standoff. Canada and Mexico were hit with 25% tariffs, while Chinese products faced levies as high as 60%. Next in Trump's sights, Europe. As European leaders gathered in Brussels for a defense summit, Trump's new tariff threats loomed large on the agenda. Fears of a global trade war were reignited when Trump made sweeping announcements about new duties. The UK is way out of line. We'll deal with them. But the European Union, they're really out of line. He warned that tariffs on the European Union would be announced shortly and that the UK would have to work this issue out. These declarations sparked serious concern across EU capitals. As the EU scrambled to assess Trump's next move, French President Emmanuel Macron responded with a bold and surprising counter. Macron delivered remarks on trade policy that few expected, even from him. If Trump decides to escalate tariffs instead of reaching a compromise with Macron, it could deepen an already tense relationship between France and the United States. Even before Trump's recent tariff rhetoric, ties between the two countries were deteriorating. On his first day back in office, Trump withdrew the United States from both the Paris Climate Accord and the World Health Organization. These early moves signaled colder relations with France, a staunch defender of both agreements. Though relations warmed slightly in 2007 under President Nicolas Sarkozy, nicknamed the American for his pro-United States stance, things unraveled quickly. In July 2017, Trump visited France on Macron's invitation. The following year, Macron addressed the United States Congress, urging America to rejoin the Climate Pact. In response, Congressman Thomas Massie labeled Macron a socialist, militarist, globalist alarmist. Later that year, Trump mocked Macron over France's nationalism, low approval ratings, and World War II defeat, while also deriding plans for a European army. In 2018, Macron condemned Trump's abrupt decision to withdraw troops from Syria. France's outgoing ambassador Gerard Araud called the Trump administration isolated. Before Trump's tariff move, France and the United States enjoyed a robust, mutually beneficial trade relationship. After rebounding post-COVID, trade between the two nations hit record highs in 2022. But by 2023, that momentum slowed. Trade in goods between the two countries reached 97 billion euros in 2023, a drop of 12.4 billion euros from the previous year. French customs data revealed falling exports across nearly all categories. France's trade surplus declined to 15.9 billion euros, and services trade saw modest gains of 2%, totaling 70.4 billion euros. By the end of 2023, the United States was France's fourth largest customer and fifth largest supplier. Even so, France's trade balance turned negative again in 2023, showing a 6.6 billion euro deficit. Exports in pharmaceuticals, aerospace, and beverages, France's strongest categories, declined significantly. Beverage exports alone fell by 1 billion euros, or 20.6%. Exports of cruise ships and other vessels also dropped, along with pharmaceuticals and industrial machinery. Despite solid long-term trade ties, Trump's tariff stance is now forcing France to explore alternative partners. And that brings us to China. French-Chinese relations have deepened notably in recent years. President Macron's 2023 visit to Beijing marked a significant shift. The two countries signed 18 economic agreements, pledging cooperation on global issues and support for diplomacy in Ukraine. A year later, in 2024, Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Macron in the French Pyrenees. The two discussed a wide range of global issues and reinforced their commitment to strengthening both Sino-French and Sino-EU ties. While Macron emphasized Europe's strategic independence, Xi praised France's dedication to cross-cultural exchange and mutual growth. France and China share a long, intricate history. Diplomatic relations resumed in 1964, and since then, multiple economic and cultural agreements have been signed. One turning point was the 2004 Franco-Chinese Strategic Partnership, aimed at boosting collaboration in trade, education, and technology. In 2015, both nations issued a joint climate declaration, laying the groundwork for the Paris Agreement. Macron has made improving ties with China a cornerstone of his presidency. In 2018, his first official visit to China led to several deals on nuclear energy, agriculture, and tourism. He also raised concerns about trade imbalances and market access. Despite some frictions, including France's early reluctance toward China's Belt and Road Initiative, economic ties have flourished. In 2019, China became France's top non-EU investment source. By 2021, trade volumes reached all-time highs. According to China's Ministry of Commerce, trade between the two countries surged over 800-fold since diplomatic ties were restored. In 2023 alone, bilateral trade hit $78.9 billion. All signs now point to China becoming a serious alternative trading partner for France, especially if the United States continues down the path of tariff escalation. Macron's tough rhetoric, backed by economic reality, increases the chances that France will pivot more toward Chinese markets for both imports and exports. That shift could be a major blow, not just to United States-France relations, but to the broader United States-European Union trade alliance. For this reason, analysts widely agree that the United States-European Union tariff crisis should be resolved through diplomacy rather than retaliation. But will that happen? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a major global trade realignment? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Thanks for